My family don't see me more, that's growing up. And now they're calling me C4, I'm blowing up. So if we sitting on seesaws, we going up. Some people get going, but I love it when the going's tough. Too young to know enough, too old to play the part. Too cool for showing up, too dumb to say what's smart. So I'm a substitute, waiting for the game to start. But I ain't trying to get played like change your heart. Chuck Woolery, I host and rip the stage apart. And hopefully you're willing to admit that I have made my mark. And may I park and find me another ride. I'm letting Florence tell you how I feel inside.
Check 1-7. Talking to the mic, Steve.
Hola, amigo.
Amigos. Tres amigos. That was a good joint. You remember that joint?
Where was that?
When we went to... We used to eat Mexican there.
In Jonesboro?
No, in Paragould.
Oh.
Right across the street from...
You know my memory is shat.
Wasn't it called Trace?
Yes, that is. It was Trace Amigos.
Okay.
It's been...
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about old glory days in college?
Yeah, what I can remember, I was asleep most of the time.
Most of the time you were asleep. For those of you who don't know, my guest is Mr. Stefan Foust, also known as Stephen Foust. Longtime friend. We've been friends
Hot minute.
a long time.
Junior high?
Since at least 9th grade.
Church camp.
Yeah, that's when I remember.
Oh,
It might have been church camp.
We got to talk about the church camp.
Which one?
The scooter accident.
You can tell. Go ahead. So I'll set it up. I'll set the scene.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'll set the scene. So I think it was probably like our senior year. I'm saying it was like 05. It could have been 06.
It's 06, I think.
06. So terrible idea to begin with, but our church went to Panama City, and the church camp was called Big Stuff. And it was basically just a big sex cult where everybody... No, it was...
Just tell the truth.
It was a church camp and in Panama City, and basically you had one session where you quote, learned about God, and then after that, you pretty much had the whole day to do whatever the frick you wanted to do.
Pretty much.
And
we were on fire.
We were on fire.
Fire for the Lord.
Some people swam. This particular day, we decided to all rent scooters. I think there was we had a huge youth group. I don't know how many was there. 70?
It was a huge group.
It was at least 70.
Is it Temple that we went
Yeah,
with?
we went to Temple Baptist. So we rented scooters, and not scooters, mopeds. Let's just be real. Little tiny mopeds.
Top speed, 30 miles per hour.
So we rent mopeds. I didn't see this happen, but I'll let Steve tell you what happened. So you rent the moped.
So I've been talking all day about getting on the mopeds. I mean, I was telling people like, oh yeah, I used to ride,
crotch rockets,
dirt bikes, like little YZ 125s and nothing. And so I'm
I
ready
didn't know you had a dirt bike.
I didn't. It was somebody else's.
No. You just made
But
that up.
it was part of the story. I didn't tell anybody that.
Right.
And I've been talking it up all day. I was like, I'll show you guys how you guys ride these
This little
mopeds.
piece of crap bike.
Well, we go to the store, and people were, getting souvenirs from Panama City. I decided to get a white hat.
It's a nice...
Other people were getting seashell necklaces.
You decided, hey, white hat.
White hat is what I chose. And get on the mopeds, and we're heading back to Big Stuff. I mean, it's the end of the day.
Top speed.
How I'm at the back of the pack, I don't know. But my hat keeps coming off, and realize that I have it on frontwards, like a moron.
An idiot. Yeah.
They weren't teaching common sense at Big
if you're
Stuff.
out there and you are wearing a hat while riding out in the open breeze, like if you stick your head out the window with a hat on, it's coming off.
Well,
So
of
anyway,
course.
Go ahead.
So anyways, like an idiot, I have it on frontwards, and I have it like cocked down, gangster style.
Yeah.
and it starts to like wobble on my head a little bit. I was
So
like,
you think, I got to save this hoe.
well, that's probably why I'm in the back, because I've slowed down significantly from 30 miles an hour to about, 20.
Yeah.
This sucker pops off, and like just me, I try and grab it to save the hat. Not myself. Don't think about my body for...
But how did you grab it? That's the interesting.
I didn't grab it. There was no grabbing
But
it.
you
It was
tried
gone.
to grab it.
I tried to grab it, but I tried to reach with the opposite hand from the opposite side of the steering wheel.
Yes. So if he's riding with both hands on the handlebars, he grabs the right handlebar with his left and reaches behind his head to try to grab it. And he
I go down
goes down.
hard
I didn't see it, but
on gravel.
I saw
and
the after effects.
on pavement and sand.
Dude, can you imagine what would have happened if he would have got seriously hurt? That'd have been bad.
I was seriously hurt.
Well, you were, yeah.
I didn't get run over.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, if you would have, that would have been bad.
So this...
And your mom was pissed.
Oh, she didn't know yet. She didn't know till like... gosh, who was it? It's Jessica's mom that called.
Rhonda.
Rhonda. That called my mother. And of course...
That's what I'm saying. But when she found out, she was pissed. That's what I mean.
she was like, did Steven have a helmet on?
Oh, Jesus. He had a hat on. It flew off.
So I'm head to toe. I'm bleeding like from the top of my head.
Yeah.
My arms are like...
Scabies.
I mean,
The
they
mange.
are burned.
Yeah, it would basically
Third degree
burns.
I mean, imagine I'm wrapped up like a mummy at the end of this whole ordeal. But
was that was that towards the end or was that like first week?
that was the end of the first week.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the end of the first week.
I couldn't remember if it was towards the beginning or I couldn't remember if it was towards the beginning of the week or if it was towards the end. I couldn't remember. Me and you were just kind of starting to hang out then.
Yeah, that was kind of when we really started to know each other.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went down and realized that we're at this Christian camp. We're on fire. We're on fire for God.
Fire for God.
And this woman who sees me just obliterated.
Just a bloody,
Just
shatty mess on the pavement.
Just a bloody mess on the pavement. Pulls over, and of course, traffic is backed up because of me.
Yeah, because you've got
And
limbs out
these
in
people are like, get out of the way. You know, what's going on? And she's just flipping everybody off behind her. Puts me in her car.
I did not know this.
Yes. And takes me to the hospital. Doesn't know me from
Are you serious?
Adam. It's nobody on our team. Like
I
nobody.
did not know that.
Like nobody in our youth group. Just somebody from Panama City.
Jesus.
And so she's like, "Oh, you're from the church camp?" And she's just
Hop
flipping.
in.
She's just flipping people off left and right.
She don't have any pants on. She could have been anybody though.
She was anybody,
But at
but
this point, you were losing blood.
who? I'm trying to think of who jumped in the vehicle. Is it Casey Spencer? Probably.
Well, someone was with you, so that made it better.
No, it was Adam. Adam was with me.
Neil?
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Adam.
not Adam. Neil. Adam.
No, that's college.
Yeah,
Adam.
sorry.
Neil.
Adam. I know who you're talking about. Anyways, he
But-
jumped in the vehicle,
Anyways, we
so
get.
that wasn't too bad. You had a guy with you.
Yeah, I had somebody with me,
Okay.
and we get to the hospital, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have to clean out
We're gonna have
these.
to cut his arm off.
We're gonna we're gonna have to clean out these wounds."
That hurt. I bet.
Oh my
Jesus.
God! So they put this numbing gel. It might as well be fire. They're like, it's just numbing gel. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, it's just numbing gel.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like picante sauce.
I told Rhonda, I was like, I'm not crying. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Senior in high school, I'm not crying.
Oh God! Cried like a little girl.
Cried like a little girl. It hurt so bad. Oh God, it was awful. And they scrubbed it out the gravel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because I had to get it out or it'd get infected.
That would be the worst part, I think, would be scrubbing it.
But pretty much that's how that story ends.
Yeah, and then my dad took care of you.
Yeah. And then that's how we really kicked off.
Yeah, yeah.
Seth's dad, Bobby, like scrubbed my wounds for a week.
Yeah. I think I do remember you sitting and this could just be a false memory, but I'm pretty sure I remember you sitting in the bathtub with your swimming trunks on, getting help from my dad, padded.
Just pad my wounds.
Your wounds.
And your dad was like, you're going to have to get in the tub, Steve.
Right.
Like, you're going to have to get in the water so we can get those wounds scrubbed. And I was like, God, it hurts.
Oh, I can't imagine. My dad, he, when I was in elementary, I remember my mom came home from, or picked me up rather, from school. I think I was in the second grade, and she was like, hey, she was crying. She was like, your dad's been shocked. My dad was an electrician, and he had I guess a panel or something blew up on his hands while he was operating or working on it. And, I remember him laying in bed with aloe vera, like, on his hands. Like, I was, like, super scared. But, yeah, he had, like, third-degree burns when I was in second grade. So I was, like, traumatized. So anytime I hear, like, any sort of burn story, it just, ugh.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could segue into the old Crowley's rope
Yeah,
burn
I forgot
episode.
all about that.
And we'll segue into college stuff.
Yeah, but
Here
this is
too.
a good story. So I think we had a...
Oh, I had done it.
You had done it. Yeah, shut up. So we were we went to a small Christian college my first 2 years, and I went with Steve my first 2 years. And
Tiny college.
Yeah, it was a real tiny college, probably like 300 total. And then there was a rope swing that was made out of briar rope. It was made out of I don't know, hemp rope. It was seriously.
It was janky.
It was a janky rope. It felt like it was made out of barbed wire. But anyway, so it was hanging on the tree, and people would really never climb it. I don't even know if it had little knots in it to where you could climb it. Did it have knots in it? I don't remember. Anyways.
No, it did not. That knot at the top.
It had a knot at the top so
That
could
you would hit
touch
your hand on.
and then come back down.
Yeah.
So barbed wire rope hanging on a tree behind the gymnasium, and people would climb it every once in a while. Steve climbed it, and I thought,
Naturally.
listen here, ho. I'm going to show you how it's done. So I climb it, and I made it to the top just fine. Well, instead of coming down like a normal human being, one hand below the other, I decided to slide down
Tom Cruise style.
like Mission Impossible with my bare hands. And I came down, and I didn't have any hands left. I look like the...
It was the most terrifying thing.
It was, and I played basketball as well. So, I mean, I couldn't dribble. I had to wear Band-Aids on my hands for like I don't know.
I mean,
like
we're talking you're a
solid
star
week.
athlete at this small college.
Well, I mean, I don't know about star athlete. I was the point guard, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to explain this, first of all, to the coach. What'd you do? Oh, I was climbing the barbed wire. But yeah. And, well, when I slid down, I thought, man, that wasn't too bad. And then I looked at my hands, and I didn't have any left. They're just gone.
Dude, they were messed up.
They were chopped up. They look like the hands-off scary movie, when he's got, here's my small hand. Here's my...
Oh, God. Your hands were red.
Yeah, they were.
They were a totally different color because you'd taken 3 layers of skin off.
Yeah, it was down way past the epiduris or whatever it is.
Epidermis.
Epidermis. Way past that.
For you people, it's the largest organ on the body. That's what I got from class when I went.
Yeah, we just throw out facts here. So, yeah, those are 3 burn experiences. This is Burn Victims Unit podcast.
So if you have a story you want to tell,
if you send it in, we'll talk about burn victims.
We'll address it. You're not alone out there.
You're not alone. We've all had those experiences, 3rd degree, 2nd degree. Did you have another
burn experience?
Not another burn experience, but you said we'd talk about Crowley's, so I didn't know. You acted like you had a story on the top of your head.
Golly, we've got hundreds of stories, I feel, about Crowley's.
Yeah, we do.
Some are confidential.
Some are
Very
strictly
confidential.
confidential. Yeah. I just didn't know if you had one off the top of your mind that you thought, hey, this would be one to share.
What about breaking out?
Breaking out, I was thinking of the one where we threw, like when we first started this, I thought about the one where we threw water on Dean's face.
Oh, gosh. Thunderdome? Is that it?
That's Thunderdome.
Okay, Seth can take this one. This one's,
Okay, so
hopefully you guys enjoy this.
it's probably 2 a.m. at the dorms.
It's normal time for everybody to be
Normal
up.
time. No, it wasn't normal time because this was the night that I remember. I said, if I'm not sleeping, nobody's sleeping. So, everybody. It was 3 floors to the dorms we were in, and on the bottom floor, the dean was staying in the bottom corner, bottom floor room. Right.
Right.
Because
why was he in our dorm?
Here's why he was in our dorm. Because he had a trailer and remember he kept that trailer on campus because he would basically drive down here and stay the week because he would go home on the weekends because his home was far off.
Right.
So anyways, he had a trailer on campus that he normally stayed in, but for some reason, something wasn't working right. So he stayed in the bottom floor, bottom corner of the dorms. And everybody's pretty much asleep, I'm going to say, but him. And so we're kind of getting rowdy. On the second floor, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but they were doing like a slip and slide.
Oh, yeah, with detergent
I think they were.
and
That's
stuff?
why we got the water out to begin with.
Right.
So sometimes, like, we would put water and soap in the hallway and basically just, I wouldn't get naked. Some homos would get.
I was not there when somebody was naked.
I was never naked, but some grody guys might have got naked. I don't know. Anyways, you basically just water and soap up the floor because it was tile, and you just slide all the way down.
You have to realize we had zero to do in Paragould, Arkansas.
Yeah, this was. And plus, after a certain point, you couldn't leave the dorm. Technically, you couldn't. And
what was it? 11 p.m.
Yeah, it was
leave?
like 11. It was really early. So slip and slide on the second floor. Third floor is just freaking mayhem. I don't know what's going on, but I remember saying, if I'm not sleeping, nobody is. Okay.
You were pissed.
I was pissed, but I was like, I guess I'm staying up all night.
And so is everybody
else in the whole dorm staying up all night. So they had I just remember this huge bucket of water, and they were doing the slip and slide on the second floor. I think we'll just say that they were. I know they were doing it on other nights, and I was like, man, we ought to just douse somebody with water. Or somebody said that. I don't remember if it was me. Somebody said.
Yeah, but they gave you the idea.
Yeah, so the idea was implanted, and I was like, why don't we freaking get the dean? And I remember Corey or somebody was like, man, he ain't going to do that. He ain't going to do that.
Right.
Nobody thought, we were actually going to throw the water on the dean, of the college. And
if it was in your hands, I knew it was going to happen.
It was going to happen. And the thing is, just to give you an idea of this guy, he was, I'm not going to mention his name, but he was really sort of odd. He was an odd guy.
Dean Oddball.
I mean, he was really odd. And he had horrible knees. He was pretty much walking on stilts, miniature stilts. He didn't have any knees, basically. And so we were like, let's freaking get the dean. I don't know why I'm whispering, but let's freaking get the dean. And it's dark on the bottom floor.
Pitch.
It's pitch black because
nobody does anything fun down there.
Yeah, and I don't think there was many people that had rooms down there anyway.
There's probably 3 or 4 rooms.
3 or 4 rooms. There's not a lot. And so we creep down the stairs, and everybody's up. I don't know how many we had in the dorms, but everybody's up. Everybody's waiting for this moment. Was it you that? Okay, we'll just get to that in a second. So we creep down.
It's me that opens the door, isn't it?
I think it is. So we knock on the door, and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Or I don't. You remember what was said to get him to come to the door? I think we just beat on it. I don't know.
I think we just beat on the door, and
beat on the
that's
door.
and you didn't talk until it.
Yeah. So, we went down, and there's literally one escape. Unless you want to run all the way down the hall, there is one stairway, and then the rest of the hall you'd have to run down and climb back up. So everybody is like crowded around this one stairwell next to his door. And it's 2 a.m., pitch black, and I have this bucket of water that's, super heavy. We'll just say it's filled to the brim.
It's pretty much a mop bucket.
It's a mop bucket. It's filled to the brim.
Doused.
Yeah, there's piss in it. There's poo. No. So we knock on the door like, open up. What's going on in there? I don't know what we said. And I heard him rustling around. I still have that sort of faint memory of like, what the hell? Yeah. So we hear him sort of get up, and then we heard the unlock, and then Steve opens the door, and to this day I have no idea why, but I said, "Welcome to Thunderdome, homie." And threw it all over his face.
And just scattered like roaches.
It was like somebody flipped the lights on in an old abandoned warehouse and brick and roaches went everywhere. And then the rest of it, like we went from like total chaos to like total silence. Like you couldn't hear a mouse pee on cotton in the dorm, man. And
you can hear his feet.
You can hear his feet going.
His wet feet.
All right, I want to know who the corporate is right now. I want to know who's up. I know you guys are. I don't know what he said. But he was going through basically
everybody's room.
Trying. We had the door locked.
Well, my door was always locked.
Was it you in my room, or did you go to your room?
No, I was in your room.
You were in my room?
Yes, I was in your room. Because I was on the couch. I was on that green couch.
Yeah. We moved the couch in front of the door, and we had the door locked. And then we were like, man, I was kind of, I really was having second thoughts. I was like, dang, I freaking threw water on the dean's face. This could be, this could be serious.
This could be.
Yeah, this could be.
Suspension.
Yeah, this could be something. But he really had no proof other than my voice, and it was dark. But I'm pretty sure he knew it was me.
He knew it was you, but I mean, we were like roaches.
Yeah, we were gone. And so basically we locked the door, and we heard him like saying, everybody's going to get it, and everybody's going to be responsible, so we're going to find out who's responsible. Yelling in the halls because, suddenly it went from chaos to everybody's in their room,
Nobody
quote
was
unquote
even
asleep.
Laughing.
Oh, I know. Everybody was like, you could hear a sonar going. Bing. I mean, it was super quiet. And I think I ended up falling asleep because, it was like we didn't hear him anymore, and we were like, okay, it's calmed down. And then I guess our dorm mom, which we called her Mama Ellis, gave him the key.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell her why that he was getting the key. He was just like, anyways, he got the master key and then started opening the doors at like 5 a.m.
Right.
And splashing water on us. So he was pretty cool about it. That was really the only thing that happened.
Yeah.
We didn't get reprimanded or anything.
I would say he took it well.
He took it well.
Considering
considering it was 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. and he got thunderdomed right in the face.
You could hear him walk down the hallways with wet feet.
Yeah.
Just.
But, yeah, with bad knees, with his canes. But, yeah, that was a good night. That was a crazy night.
We've got a lot more to discuss.
We do have a lot more to discuss. Okay, we're back. We actually never left. We just took about a 15-minute break to pick up Steve's 95 Corolla.
So sweet.
It is nice.
It's brand new.
Brand new. We were talking about how we wanted to tell a story about when I pulled our friend's pants down in front of one of what was considered one of the cuter, hotter
For Crowley's.
for Crowley's Ridge College, one of the sexier girls at school.
This isn't just a normal pantsy.
No. So,
But it
and
was
I
the
had
final
a,
straw for Bo.
Yeah, he was. I don't want to say he was asking for it, but he always wore the same green basketball shorts. So in a way, he was kind of asking for it. And I was sort of notorious at this point, which I don't know if you. I don't know if you knew me in high school, but I mean, I did. You can see me doing this type of stuff in high school.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was an everyday ordeal.
Yeah, it was an everyday ordeal. Okay, setting the scene here. So we're outside of the girls' dorms, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think
No, we are.
we are. Okay,
The forbidden dorms.
the forbidden dorms. So this is the girls' dorms and the boys' dorms. They were connected, but one door went to the girls' side, and then one door went to the boys' side. So we're outside in the parking lot, and we're either walking to the gym or we're walking to the cafeteria. I don't know what. Bo is wearing, our friend Bo, it was me, Steve,
Of course.
who's sitting here.
I'm always there.
He's always here. Steve and Justin Ward, he was with us, one of our friends. And so we're walking, and Bo is wearing his classic green Crowley's shorts.
Baseball shorts.
They're just baseball shorts. They're not, they have a baseball logo, but they're basketball shorts, okay? You know, they've got the drawstring, which he never used, you know. And then he had his dingy white tee on. I'm pretty sure he had his dingy white tee on.
It was yellow at this point.
It was yellow. And Bo, he has all kinds of quirks anyway, but like he...
Trichotillomania.
Yeah, which if... I don't know how to pronounce it. You just said it, but trichotillomania. You can look that up. It's something to do with twisting your hair. Like he would literally pull his hair out.
But he didn't have any hair.
And he didn't have it, and he had like a buzz cut. I think he had to get a buzz cut because if he didn't, he would look like
my God, it would be awful.
He would look like he had the mange or something. But anyways, back to the story. I'm going to tell the full story now. Okay, so we're heading toward the cafeteria, and we're sort of all in a line, you know, like Four Horsemen or whatever. We're just walking.
Weren't we called the Fab Five?
The Fab Five. I don't know who's that fifth person, though.
Mike Dobbins.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but most people call us the Fag Five.
Fag Five.
Oh, well.
That's all
Haters
right.
gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. We're walking towards the gym, and the hot girl drives up in the vehicle. And Bo, thinking he's going to be, you know, Mr. Cool, he gets in her way. He blocks her. And there's another girl in the vehicle with her. So it's
That's
two.
right.
There's two girls in the vehicle.
about
And he
that.
blocks her and sort of puts his junk sort of on the, not literally, but, you know, he puts his, man region next to the front of the bumper. And he's like acting like he's going to jump on the car and whatever.
Sure.
And then this is what I found was funny. You know, he raised his shirt up to show his chest. You know, he was like rubbing his chest a little bit.
He's a hairy man.
And he's very hairy. And he's
just literally has a sweater underneath.
Yeah. He has he looked like I don't know, like a rustic bear. I don't know, who never shaved.
He's mountain man.
He's a
without the
He's a
beard.
mountain man guy. So he pulls his dingy white tee up, and he's sort of rubbing his chest. And I come behind him like a sniper. And just out of nowhere, I just saw an opportunity, is basically what happened.
And you weren't intending to pull everything down.
Yeah, but that's what took place.
Oh, God, it was
So I pulled down his pants down so hard that they shook the earth.
They slammed to the pavement. They were ankles.
Yeah, underwear and all. So his dick is now out.
Well,
And like
doesn't he pull the Marilyn Monroe?
he does. Instead of like a normal human being pulling his pants up and shaking it off or whatever, he takes his dingy white shirt and pushes it down like Marilyn Monroe in that famous scene where she's over the vent, you know.
And he's got his knees twisted inwards.
And his knees are twisted inwards. And and then he proceeded. I don't know how long he stood there, but probably felt like forever.
Long enough for her to turn and park her car.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then he takes off after me, and I'm running at full sprint mode. I mean,
I think you were already ahead of them.
I'm already ahead, way ahead. And I'm Usain Bolting it. And he almost caught me.
He is mad.
He is
like
pissed.
I did not know Bo was that
pissed.
fast.
Well, I mean, like, he wasn't ready, you know, and his penis wasn't ready. You know, I always think, like, if it had, like,
was it a cold day? Because
I don't know. I always thought, like, if it had a thought bubble, it would be like, oh, dear God. I'm out. Oh. But, yeah, he chased me.
He was not ready for sunshine.
No. And his little ding-a-ling, I don't think had seen the sunshine in a hot minute.
Well, thankfully, I was on the other side.
Yeah, that's right. You were, I think you were behind me, so.
Yeah, for sure. Glad I was.
Me too, yeah.
Wouldn't have seen anything anyway.
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, because it's not going to.
You were safe on either side.
Yeah, either side.
Either side of the story, you were safe. I mean, that shirt came down quick.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was an experience.
Did his knees buckle? Because they absolutely they had to.
Yeah, his knees definitely buckled. What about that time you, I was just thinking about this. That time when we went to Wendy's and you pretty much almost killed us because I'll just set the scene and then you can take it away. Okay.
Roger that.
So we pulled into Wendy's and
5-star
restaurant Wendy's, the drive-through, and I would always have a knack, or for some reason, I just always think it's funny when somebody pulls up and, you know, I'm sitting in the passenger seat just to make random noises.
Literally my pet peeve not to do.
Yeah, because I don't think you got embarrassed. It's just you're trying to place an order and...
I've always been like...
you probably got a little embarrassed. It's a little embarrassing.
How do I say it? I like to... like, people doing fast food, I just feel like their job is already hard enough. And
annoying.
Then somebody being like a
douchebag
punk on the other end.
Yeah. Well, so we pulled up, and I was just like...
just an animal.
I was just I was making sexual innuendos, sexual noises, and you were trying to order a Frosty, or I don't know what you were ordering, but
something simple.
So what did you do?
Well, Seth,
we didn't place the order.
He set the scene.
We didn't even get through with the order. I'll just say that.
But if you're ever with me, this is just my pet peeve. If you really want to set me ablaze, then go ahead and talk over me while I'm ordering something. And Seth is making these just god-awful, grotesque sex noises.
Bestiality noises.
And the girl is just like, what was that, sir? You know, what was that? And it's just... and I'm just trying probably to get some fries and a Frosty. I mean...
And you were probably in a bad mood anyway.
What? I don't think I was in a great mood that day.
Right, yeah. I mean, so it wasn't like a great time to do it. But no, I don't care.
Did I even end up with the food?
No, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. So, anyways, I am blazing mad.
Livid, pissed.
I'm livid, pissed, whatever adjective you want to use. For anger.
You were that.
I was that. And I had a Hyundai Santa Fe, 2003, real guy's car.
Yeah, which just screams muscle car.
It does. I was super muscled up. 113 pounds soaking wet.
Butt naked.
But this 2003 Hyundai Santa Fe, and I just get...
peeled out. I think it's all-wheel drive, and every wheel just went...
We were going like 100 down West Kings Highway.
Yeah.
going back towards Crowley's.
I saw the Grim Reaper sort of floating in the vehicle. Just
so Bo is in the back, and he is grabbing onto the back of your seat.
Yeah, he's pinned.
He's like, "Dear God, we're going to die." Steve, I've never seen him this mad.
Well, I don't even know if you had your eyes open, now that I remember. You might as well not have.
You know, your eyes get watery when you get angry.
You get pissed.
I think I've never experienced that.
Yeah, there was like a deep squint.
Until that day. I really wanted a Frosty, and you ruined it for me.
I did, and then
I felt like crap for the person working at Wendy's.
Felt like a big douchebag.
So we get back to Crowley's, and we are sliding into the entrance.
It's a tiny campus anyway, and it's full of hills.
Sure.
To give you an idea what this campus looks like.
I mean, you can have some fun driving.
You can have some fun if you're, not going Richard Petty mode.
Probably in like a Nissan Z, not in a Hyundai Santa Fe.
I saw Dale Earnhardt. I feel like I saw Dale Earnhardt's ghost when we were driving.
I do feel like I had a different calling in that moment.
You did.
If you'd put me on the racetrack, nobody's stopping me.
But was that the same time? Was that the same time when you put it in reverse, or was that completely different time?
Okay, so that was a completely different time, but when we got into Crowley's, we were going about 75.
Yeah, it was.
And we were on two wheels coming in.
I
coming
seriously
into the
feel
dorms.
like we were, yeah. Honestly,
I think Bo was crying. He was so scared.
There was a tear. Yeah, I saw it when I looked back. He was inaudible. He was just completely silent. And I don't even know if he had his eyes open.
I didn't know if we were going to make it.
Yeah,
but my
I think
foot
you
was
lost
not,
a little. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It was not coming off the pedal. There was no brake.
No, it was. But the other time that I was thinking of is when I don't even know, like you were going fast. This was a different time.
FYI, I drive for UPS.
Yeah.
Every now and
again. every once in a while.
Yep.
Single route. But this time, this was a different time I was thinking of, I guess, when we were driving around the curve and you were going fast as usual.
I lost it. Didn't I lose? I lost
control.
Like,
why don't you just freaking throw it in reverse,
Oh,
going that
my
fast.
gosh, you did. Yeah.
And then
I remember that.
just abruptly you slammed on the brakes and we're like, okay. And
I think I was going like 50 in reverse.
well, we lost control.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
Or I lost control.
You lost control. And we split in between two sycamores.
Two sycamore trees, like the hand of God.
Yeah, it was like, I think I don't even know if they were split until we went through them. I never even,
I don't remember those being like that.
No, but
somehow we slid between these two trees.
Backwards. Going about,
into a field.
We were literally, you could say we were going 90. We were probably going 35, 40.
In reverse. I mean, please, people at home, don't try that.
No.
Because you're going to lose it.
Yeah, that was just one of the many near-death experiences when we had at Crowley's. But I have I guess I shouldn't be talking much because I have, and I still have, a Trailblazer SS, which has like a 6.0 motor in it.
It's scary.
And
scary fast.
We were coming into Crowley's one time, and Crowley's is the college we went to, and we turned into campus, and there's really not a lot of road before you have to like it's like a fork, so you have to like
you can either go straight or you can go right.
You can either go straight or kind of veer to the right. Well, as soon as we turned on to campus,
you drift to the right.
Yeah, drift to the right, and I just punched it, and I think you were in the vehicle with us when I did that.
I'm sure I was.
Well,
There's a lot of instances in
that's true
in that car.
So I punched it. I mean, like pretty much slammed to the floor, and I had to make a decision whether I'm going to veer right or left. And I veered to the left, like right at the last minute. And there's like a little dip or a cliff.
Oh gosh, yes, I remember.
And like
it's still there.
Yeah. And I still think to this day God whipped his hand underneath there so both of my tires could make it. But that was one of the many experiences.
We shouldn't be here talking to anybody today.
No, or paraplegics. I mean, we could be like maybe in a I don't know, a full body cast or something. But
Yeah, man, that was some crazy times.
that was
We
crazy.
shouldn't have been on the road.
No, we really shouldn't have. But that was, I don't know, just chalk up to one of the many experiences that we had.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I was at Hollywood Cinema and my mom?
Hollywood Cinema.
But my mom and
Yeah.
dad were out on the town, and I didn't know. And,
No, you
and
didn't
Dad
know
had
this.
just like helped me get this Hyundai Santa Fe.
You did not? Was this in Paragould?
No. This was in Jonesboro.
Okay.
But we'll get back to
Okay,
the
hit
college
me
days
up.
real quick. But I'm just thinking
No, tell
about the driving stuff. And I guess they're going to Shakes when Shakes was still around before Andy's
Okay.
obliterated them.
Yeah.
But
Shakes in front. Shakes is like a little ice cream joint, and it was in front of the theater. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
yeah, I mean, this building's still there.
yeah.
But
Just kind of random. Nothing's there now.
yeah, and I think I was like 18.
Oh, really? I don't know
And-
about this.
So we're out with some friends, and nobody's in my car,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got this new car. I'm thinking the Hyundai Santa Fe is just like the baddest thing out
It
there
is.
because
It's
I
nice.
drove a Ford Ranger
Right.
that, like,
Which I liked.
well, other than the fact that it said El Salvador on the back screen, like a huge sticker in all rainbows colors. But anyways, I started to just do donuts
In the parking lot?
in the parking lot.
I did
no
not know
idea
this.
what possessed me to do so.
Well, you're in
Did
a new
not
rig,
know
you wanna
Mom
show
and
out.
Dad were at Shakes.
Oh, dear God.
And Ray goes, Marilyn, is that our son Steven? And Mom knows it's me. She tells me this later when I get home. She goes,
Oh.
I just want to talk to you for a minute.
Just coming back here, baby.
She's like, I saw you do donuts, and Dad asked if that was you, and I go, oh no,
That's
not our Steven.
Steven. It's just like him in the face.
To this day, he doesn't know. But that's
Really?
pretty much the story.
Oh, that's
Just another,
it. I did not know that.
yeah.
I did not know that. One time when I was in my yellow truck, I have a 1971 Chevrolet pickup truck, and this was in high school.
So nice.
Yeah, me and my dad put a new engine in it and restored it, but that's neither here nor there. But anyways, I was I don't know if we were hanging out yet. I was still in high school. It was like a senior. And
That was too cool for you right then.
way too cool.
Way too cool. Yeah,
And,
I was a cool kid.
And I pulled up next to this. It was like I don't know if it was like a dually, but it was like a diesel. It was like a big HD 4-door truck.
Sure.
And it was wanting to race me. And, back in high school, anybody that pulled up next to me, I was going to go.
Right.
You know.
Dude was about 5'2".
Yeah, he was probably
boots on.
He's 5'2" with steel toes on. And so we pulled up to the light, and he started revving his engine, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. So we punched it, and like he started pulling ahead of me, and I was like, dang, he beat me. And then he like veers across, like cuts me off and takes off through this what used to be a gas station.
What
And
is this?
This is right in front of what used to be that Hastings and McDonald's stoplight.
Oh, okay.
So we're going
the
down.
cruising spot.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
going down, and he just pretty much cuts me off, and I'm like, what the frick is this guy doing? He like cuts me off, cuts through a gas station, and just keeps going. And I'm like, well, gosh, what in the frick? And I see this cop, these blue lights behind me.
We've got some
And
blue
I'm
light
like,
stories.
Jesus. And I'm like, oh, God, that's why he's leaving. So I turned to the right, like, abruptly. As soon as I saw the taillights, my buddy Tyler was with me. And then, like, I see him go, I mean, he's like, I don't know how he didn't see me turn to the right, but he didn't. So he goes down another street. So we're on, like, opposite streets. And I turn to the right twice. So I turned to the right to get off the road where he's chasing me. And then I turned to the right behind this, it's like a little storage shed. And I just freaking sat there, dude.
So you sat behind it so he couldn't
Yeah,
see you.
I just chilled. I was like, dude, we got to, because we get caught.
Button the hatches down.
I mean, we get caught racing. It's serious. I'm thinking, God, I don't want, I think I'd already had one ticket maybe not for racing, but for I was just sort of a wild man in my yellow truck anyway. Anybody that wanted to race me.
Well, it sounded so good too. It's not like you didn't just want to just let it sit at idle.
Right.
I mean,
that's true.
Give some horses.
So I pulled behind. I pulled behind.
That's not a horse.
No, it's not a horse. I pulled behind the storage units or whatever it was, and I was like, "Frick, dude!" So we just sat there for 20 minutes and like watched him circle the block over and over with his blue lights on, and then finally he turned them off, and like another 5 minutes he circled the block, and I was like, "Dude, we can't stay." So we just went home. But I mean, it was. We would have got caught. I mean, had I stayed on the road or not pulled off the road, and I honestly don't know how we didn't get caught, but But we didn't get caught, so that's the most important thing. And that brings us to the final story, I think, which is the Kroger story.
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. So you want me to take it? Or you
Go ahead and set the scene for it, because it was your idea, was it not?
Yeah, it was. So
we were bored.
Yeah, so we were waiting on some friends who were coming from our college town. We were in Jonesboro, which is like 30 minutes away. And I think we were just going to do something that night. I don't really know what we're going to do.
Well, there wasn't jack to do. How many years ago? 8 years, 9 years ago?
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot to do. And we pulled in the Kroger parking lot, me and Steve. And so we're just basically just chilling, waiting on our friends to meet us. And I'm like, hey, why don't we go climb the Kroger?
Yeah, I really had to have you hear it a second time for myself.
Hey, why don't we go climb the Kroger building? And then I think you were trying to talk me out. I think you were.
I think I was game for anything at that point. But you were like, I'm going to show you something cool up on top of Kroger. Like you've been up there before.
Yeah, I'd been up there.
And I was naive.
Yeah.
Thought, oh, yeah, there's going to be like a rave going on.
Yeah, there's
on
this
top
big,
of Kroger.
there's a big strip joint up top.
Sure.
That's going on. So there's if I remember right, there was a ladder on the side of the building.
That we couldn't reach.
We didn't?
We couldn't reach it ourselves. We're both like 5'7" without shoes on.
Yeah. So
we had to get a pallet, remember?
We did. We got a pallet. We jumped up. I feel like it was on Home Alone, New York 2, where he's going.
Yes, where he's going on the backside of the house.
He tries to jump on the ladder.
Sure, that's definitely us.
So we climbed the top, and we were like, there's just nothing but a bunch of air conditioners and a roof on top.
Well, to say my expectations,
But you liked it.
My expectations were not met.
No, they were not met.
By any means.
So
I was like, what are we doing up here?
I'm like, man, isn't this cool? You kind of felt like
You said we're so high, and I was like, we're literally 2 stories off the ground.
But I mean, it was dangerous. It was, I don't know.
We could have just climbed somebody's house at Ridge Point.
We weren't supposed to be up there. That was the point. That was the point, Steve. We weren't supposed to be up there.
Okay, true. No trespassing.
So, yeah, no trespassing. We climb up on top of Kroger, and we come down. Everything's cool. We're like, okay, we'll just wait on them. They should be here in a couple minutes. And, as we're walking back to my vehicle, or our vehicles, were we just driving yours? We were just driving yours, the Santa Fe, because you had
That's right, because I had my stuff in the car.
So we're walking back to the vehicle, and it was like literally a scene out of a movie when two police cars come in both directions.
They didn't just casually drive in.
No, it was blue lights were already going. Somebody had made the phone call and said,
well, those apartments.
We got some robbers on top.
Are they still there? The apartments that are right there beside Kroger by the alleyway? And somebody had called in from those apartments.
Yeah, they saw some vagrants climbing to the Kroger. then I guess they thought, we got to make the phone call. And so as we're walking back, I think I put my hand on your chest. I don't even know if I put my hand on your chest, but I was like, just let me handle this.
I'll never forget that.
Just let me
Famous
handle this.
final words. Now these cops didn't just drive in. Like, they were sliding.
Yeah, it was Fast and the Furious. They
It was.
swooped in.
You would have thought we would have broken the Kroger
Yeah.
and
You would have thought we
stole all the ramen noodles. I don't know.
yeah, like we were going to Mission Impossible down some loft up top or something.
Sure.
But so yeah, I was like, just let me handle this. I got it. So they separate us.
I had full faith in Seth at this point.
Yeah,
by the
and you
way.
broke down like a little beyond.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
So they separate us,
I'll put my pride aside.
and I'm like, man, I'm stone face. He's asking me questions. What were y'all doing? I'm like, man, we were just throwing away some trash.
Well, why don't you
I
get
got
to where
super
I am at this
specific.
point?
Well, hang on, let me tell my side. So I got
Okay,
super
okay.
specific. He pulled us both aside. One cop's got me, another cop's got Steve, and I can just see him over there just pretty. I can't tell what he's doing. I just told him basically stick to the story of we're throwing away some trash, and I was telling the cop I was talking to. He was like, well, what kind of trash were y'all throwing away? I was like, it's Sonic trash.
Couldn't have said paper.
Couldn't have said paper. We definitely did not go to Sonic. It was just crossing my fingers and pointing to the sky and praying to God there was some Sonic trash in there. Well, I was just like, man, when you lie, you got to get specific. You got to be like...
Well, not too specific.
Not too specific. That's where I jacked up. So anyways, I'm talking to him, and at this point, I see that they're putting Steve in the back of the vehicle. They're putting his head.
I'm handcuffed,
He's
bro.
handcuffed.
I've never done anything remotely as far as felony-wise or even misdemeanor
No, nothing.
in my life at this
You even
point.
stole a grape at
Plus, I
Walmart.
haven't done a felony.
Yeah. But you hadn't even stole like a stick of gum at Walmart.
No.
And so I'm getting a little nervous. My butthole's getting a little tight.
You're nervous. I'm in cuffs.
Well, I when I tell people this story, I tell them, like, to this day, when I saw you in the back of the police car, I think I saw one tear fall down your face.
Oh, there's everybody. My pride's aside at this point. I cried.
And I'm thinking, God, they've handcuffed him. What did he say, And apparently he just spilled his guts. You did spill your guts. You told him everything. Oh, we were climbing on the roof.
Well, you didn't. Did I not tell you what the cop said to me? He said, "Son, you look like an honest young man." And I just broke down. I thought, dear God, I'm going to jail. I've heard all the stories, and I'm not ready.
You're going to give me a cot and 3 meals. Okay, so you're in the back of the police car.
Right.
The other cop comes to me.
I've spilled my guts.
He spilled everything. The cop pulls the one I'm talking to aside, and then they start talking. And then I'm standing there looking through the front glass, and I see Steve in the back handcuffed.
I'm crying.
He's weeping. and
Real men cry.
real men cry, especially when they climb on roofs at Kroger. And they come back to me, and they're like, we got, I don't remember exactly what they said, but they were basically implying, we got different stories, so what is it? And I see the other cop shine his flashlight over in the trash can.
That's when I knew.
That's when we knew it was over.
It was
The
over.
game was up.
And the computer inside, like, obviously the cops have like one of
Their
those
system
laptops
now, yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, in my darkest hour, on their screensaver it said "shake and bake,"
Did it really?
and I found some positive in that.
Some glimmer of hope.
Some glimmer of
I
hope.
may not get
I thought, man, these
butt
guys
raped
may
tonight.
be cool.
So they come back to me and they're like, "Hey, we didn't find anything you're talking about. There was no Sonic trash. There's definitely not a number 1 in there. Nothing was in there. No, whatever they serve. I don't know what they serve. There's no Sonic trash in there.
Right.
I was trying to think of something they served, but
Well, they did proceed to go through my stuff.
oh yeah. So they did. At this point, they're searching Steve's vehicle.
They already know.
They already know what had happened. They searched Steve's vehicle. you had detergent in the back, and they opened it and sniffed it.
Well,
like
yeah,
we were-
because everybody now is using Tide, like detergent
Tide
to, for like meth. I don't know.
to get high. And
something.
they were thinking, I guess they, we looked pretty wholesome. I mean, we weren't like, we got all our teeth in our head.
I was shattered emotionally.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what I look like after
a
the
broken man,
experience.
Shawshank Redemption man.
Right.
So they search his vehicle, and I'm like, guys, there's nothing in there. I do remember saying that. There's nothing in there. You can search the whole thing. And I was thinking, man, what if they plant something? All these thoughts are running through my head. Your head, too, I'm sure.
Everything was going through my head.
Yeah. So they come back to me, and this is sort of where the light at the end of the tunnel. They knew my parents from church.
Right. Of course they would.
One of the police officers knew my parents from where we went to church, and he was, he basically was like, "Listen, man, the gig's up." And I told him, I was like, "Yeah, we were just freaking." I don't think I cried, but I'm like, we were just, we just climbed up on top of Kroger. We were waiting on our friends to show up, and I don't even think they ever showed up. Now that I think about it,
Well, no. And so pretty much that's the story. But Seth, after the whole thing, I'm
a human being. You're just melted.
I'm a shell of my former self at
Like
this
a candle
point.
just wilting or melting in the back of the police car.
And Seth goes, well, "What do you want to do now?" I was like, "I'm ready to go home. I'm done."
I'm ready to go cry under the shower head, man.
Oh, jeez. So,
So that was.
did
That
your
was-
family even know about that
No,
story?
yeah, they knew about
Okay,
it.
because mine
Yeah.
definitely knows.
Yeah, they knew about it. That was one of the.
If they didn't know, they're going to know.
That was one of the most fun experiences, I think.
No doubt, man.
So, all right. Well, we'll pick it up next time, and we'll maybe tell some more stories next time. So I have Steve on. We got a lot more. So,
Oh, yeah, we got a lot more to tell.
all right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Howdy.